Hello and welcome to part 3 of FCAT Countdown. Today we're going to start with FCAT topic number 6. But before that, let me reveal the secret clue. Secret clue is the letter M. Alright, so our topic number 6 is scientific notation. Scientific notation is a way to write very large or very small numbers, and we always have these rules. If you're taking notes, it might be a good idea to write these notes or just something to help you remind you about these two things. Lead with a decimal between 1 and 10. So the number is always 1 point something or higher, or 9 point something or lower. It's never 10 point something. There's never two decimal places. And the exponent is the number of the decimal shifts from where it is currently to between the first two non-zero digits. Very small numbers can be written with negative exponents. Now that may be confusing. Let's look at some examples. Alright, example, writing this large number in standard scientific notation. Well, again, look where we're coming from. If we have the number in standard form like it is now, we come from the left here, and decimal, the first two non-zero digits, I see 3, and I see 6. So the decimal is going to go between those first two, so it's 3.6. We can chop off all those zeros, and it's always times 10, because that's just what scientific notation is. And then we count, if we were to put the decimal here, it's currently here, because if you don't have anything, you just put a decimal at the end. How many steps is it going to take to get from here to here? Well, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this would be 3.6 times 10 to the 9th power. Alright. So next, really, really small numbers. Decimal is currently here, but if I go all the way from the left, I see the first two non-zero digits are 4 and a 7. So, example number 2, decimal is going to go between the 4 and the 7 times 10. And we got to get the decimal from here to here. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Since it is a very small number, it is going to be negative exponents. So our final answer is 4.7 times 10 to the negative 10th power. Alright, number 3, this is kind of reverse. Writing this in scientific notation, writing it in standard form. We start off with the 602. Decimal is currently located here. We're going to move it 10 spots to the right. So that would make it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Add in our zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And there's our answer. We can add in commas every 3. And what would that give us? 60,200,000,000. Notice that the exponent here, 10, is not the number of zeros. That's a common misconception, but it's the number of decimal shifts, not the number of zeros. So this is kind of how you will see scientific notation problems. It tells you last year 9.0 times 10 to the 7th million jars of certain brand of peanut butter were sold. Approximately how many jars of peanut butter were sold per minute? Well, we have a number in scientific notation. We need to get it in standard form if we want to be able to work with it. So, first thing we got to do, get this number in standard form. So 9.0, 10 to the 7th means we're going to move it over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Add our zeros. Okay, so we have our commas. This is 90 million. 90 million jars of peanut butter were sold. Approximately how many jars of peanut butter were sold per minute? Oh, this is how many were sold per year. Well, I guess we got to do some work, figure out how many minutes there are in a year. So, first thing is we're going to do some dividing. First, divide by 365, because that's how many days there are in a year. Then we're going to have to divide by 24, how many hours in a day. Then we're going to have to divide by 60 to get how many were sold per minute. So if you can figure this out, you really don't even need to just type in this number, then divide by this, then divide by this, then divide by this, without hitting any equal to signs until you get to the very end. You should get the answer of B, 170 jars per minute. So the thing to remember on this problem is really make sure you're working with numbers in standard form if they're already in scientific notation. Now it's your turn. Similar type of problem, solving something that's written in scientific notation. So I'll give you a second. Hit pause, read the problem, try to figure it out, choose an answer, and then we'll go back and check. So what I did was first I wrote my number in standard form, and it's trying to figure out this is how much it does per hour or 1 hour. So trying to figure out how far it'll travel in 5 hours. Multiply by 5, which is actually easy because these are all zeros. 5 times 8 is 40. And then bring down all these other zeros. So what you'll see is this gives you 4 million, which if you write it in scientific notation would be answer choice B. Did you get that? If you did, wow. Woo! All the cheers that you get. If you didn't, go back and try to figure out what you did wrong. So, she said I was just average. How mean. Everyone loves a good math joke. Well, it is time for some shout-outs, and I didn't get a whole lot. I only got one, and it was from Morales. She just wanted to shout out to herself. So, she wanted me to say, Morales is awesome. So, there it is on the video. Morales is awesome. Okay, next clue in our math puzzle is S. Have you been keeping track? What does it mean? I don't know. So now, on to our fifth topic, inequalities. So when you're thinking of inequalities, you want to relate it to equations. Equations show that two sides are balanced, while inequalities show that one side is greater than or less than the other. Thus, all the different symbols. Solve them just like equations. We isolate the variable. But when multiplying or dividing inequalities by a negative number, don't forget the special rule. Special rule says when we multiply or divide an inequality by a negative number, we flip the sign. For those that didn't remember this rule, just think about the special rule. That's how I always say it in class. And when you're graphing, shade on a number line or a coordinate plane. We will talk about that in our examples. So a lot of times you see problems like this with a lot of words, a lot of writing. What it comes down to is we just have to solve this. And of course the way we solve it is just like it were an equation. And if this were an equation, I see a number outside parentheses. That's my clue that I need to distribute with a little wha. So if I do that, I will get 1.2a plus 0.078a is less than or equal to 25. Okay, this looks good. The only thing is I see these are like terms. So the best thing to do is, if you have like terms, is to combine them. So if I add 1.2 and 0.078, I get 1.278a is less than or equal to 25. And when we have multiplication here, the next step is just do the opposite. And the opposite would be to divide by 1.278. And I'm going to divide this. So I will hit pause, use the calculator. And if you divide this, you should get A is less than or equal to 19.56, which is shown by answer choice D. Alright, so solve it just like an equation. Alright, so you try. I gave you a clue. This looks a lot like the last problem we did. So hit pause now, try to solve it, pick an answer, and then unpause. Ready? Go! So here's what I did. Subtracted 39.95 from both sides. Then the last step, we divide by 0.4, and I get x is less than or equal to 112. It's saying whole minutes, so I guess our best answer is D. Here's another problem with our shading. It is shaded to the left, and we're trying to figure out which inequality could Sarah have written to correctly complete the activity. This one's on you guys, so hit pause, choose an answer, let me know what you get. I will be back in a second. But wait, here's a hint. You're going to have to try to solve each of these to figure out which one of these matches this one best. Alright, now hit pause. So here's what I got for A, x is greater than 2, B, x is less than 3, C, x is less than or equal to 7/3, and D, x is less than or equal to 10. What I meant to say was x is less than or equal to 2. That's the beauty of video, and if my eraser tool was working better, you wouldn't even be able to see it, but it is not erasing for some weird reason. Anyways, so which graph best matches this? Well, here's 0, so that means this is 1, 2. So we're looking at either A or D. A is a greater than, so it would be shaded to the right. That is not the case. This is a less than or equal to. Notice when it has the equal to sign, it's a solid, like a closed circle. And this is less than, so we shade to the left. So our best answer choice would be D. Did you get that right? I hope so. And so, we've come to the end of our inequalities topic. Best picture I could show you was Long Live the King from which famous Disney movie? You tell me. I will talk to you later. I will see you for part 4 of our video, the last 4 FCAT topics. Bye-bye.